This is TWiT.
This blows my mind. So I know you're not a Steph Curry fan. We know that about you, Owen JJ Stone.
His name is Wardell Curry.
I'm sorry.
His mama named it Wardell. So
Wardell.
his birth certificate,
I didn't mean
Wardell
to start this whole thing again. But Wardell, what was his deal with the NBA? I think $200 million for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's an amazing ball player. Ryan Murphy just did a deal with Netflix, $300 million for 5 years.
Yep.
He's making more than Wardell Curry.
Well, he brings in more to Fox, or he has brought in more to Fox over his
he did
years
Glee.
with them. Then
he did Nip Tuck. He did American Crime
Popular.
Story.
He did American Horror Story, and now the American Crime Story. OJ, people.
He did the OJ. That was a good one.
Which was fantastic. Now the assassination of Gianni Versace. I mean, let's be honest. He has been the main prestige person behind FX as a network.
He says, the history of this moment is not lost on me. I'm a gay kid from Indiana who moved to Hollywood in 1989 with $55 in savings in my pocket. So my dreams have crystallized and come true. But that shows you, this guy's a showrunner. So that's how much he's worth to Netflix. $50 million, $60 million a year for 5 years.
He brings in the bucks.
He does bring it in.
Two things. One, athletes have a cap. So Wardell could have got more than $200 million, but there's a whole cap that keeps him down. Secondly, Netflix, could you please stop paying people this money? Okay? Just stop it. Okay, go to the dude and say, hey, would you take $40 million a year? And how about this?
Owen
deal.
wants a salary cap for streaming media.
Salary cap on Netflix. They're paying the money that they pay is unsustainable. How does Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle just got $250 million.
How much did Rock get for Tambourine?
Specials.
Do you know?
$50 million.
$50 million for that one?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's only an hour. Bro, you can't sustain it.
No wonder he was smiling.
Shonda Rhimes.
I'm in the wrong business.
Shonda Rhimes got, I think, $200 million or $250 million when she left ABC for Netflix. But I mean, to Ian's point, I mean, he has brought in more than $60 million a year for Fox.
I don't know if I have to say
Netflix don't have no commercials. That's my money. That's my money. Netflix is out here spending my money. The difference with Fox is Fox puts up Tide Pod.
But you're happy. You're happy that they're. So
I'm not going to be happy when Netflix is $42 a month. Okay, bro. I'm not. I don't care how many times they tell me they're going back in the past to rewrite my future.
I don't think anybody thinks this is going to last forever, because obviously it won't. But since we are in this golden age of content, I'm not going to hate on Ryan Murphy or Shonda Rhimes or any of these creators getting these huge paydays. It is interesting, though, how this happened, because Ryan Murphy, I think most of us thought that he would have been at Fox forever.
He's worried about the Disney thing.
Well, that's exactly it. And apparently Disney was in advanced negotiations with him to ensure things would happen. And I think he was concerned, and probably rightfully so, that the subject matter of his content might not be a good fit for the Disney brand. And so Netflix used that as an opportunity to kind of say, okay, we got you. And
he did 911. I didn't know that. That's the new one. Is that any good? It looks good. The promos look good.
Yeah, I mean, No, Reno 911 is great, but no, I've seen it with Connie Britton. It's good, and I like the Versace show that's on. I mean, I thought that the People versus O.J. Simpson was the best thing that aired in 2016, and it gave us
You're too young, though. You don't remember. Do you remember the O.J. trial at all?
I do.
You do.
I was like 11, but I was obsessed. Because the soap opera.
By the way, you can thank that trial for the Kardashians.
Oh, I know.
I know. But it was actually funny. I remember when the sex tape happened, I was like, "Is that Robert Kardashian's kid?" Like that was my first thought, because I was obsessed at 11 with the OJ trial. No, but I mean, I've been a Ryan Murphy fan since he had a show on the WB network called Popular, which no one but me watched. And then Nip Tuck was his first big success, but he's gone on with American Horror Story.
He says in the New York Times article, he was so worried about the acquisition by Disney, he went to Robert Iger, the chief executive there, and said, am I going to have to put Mickey Mouse in American Horror Story? That is, of course, every content creator's nightmare, right?
Say, it's kind of, if it was done right, I'd kind of watch that.
I would watch that.
If there was a bacon slicer, hot pokers, and a pair of pliers involved, maybe. You know,
I'm not against anybody getting their money, like Rhymes and this dude even getting a deal for 5 years. I get that it's a sustained period of time because they're doing multiple shows, multiple hours. It's just like when I see, again, I love Chris Rock. I watched the show 3 o'clock in the morning as soon as it came out, but I'm like, it was 55 minutes of somewhat laughter, and then it was over, and I had no more of it. And $50 million. And I'm like, whoa, bro, y'all just out here tossing out change. Like,
that is kind of amazing.
Yeah,
That's
no, I mean, it's
amazing
the same thing with Dave Chappelle. It is an amazing amount. Oh, it's crazy. But it's I mean, that's right now anyway. And again, this is not going to last forever. But as they go after, expanding and getting more and more subscribers, and they have been gaining subscribers every month, every quarter.
That's the key. And I think there's some onus when you get new subscribers, you can't lose them. So
you can't.
It is they are now on a treadmill. They have to continue to produce content that keeps those new subscribers and generates more. And that's going to be very challenging, I think.
It is. I mean, the thing with, if you know this from HBO has known this for years, and obviously, they are one of the most profitable, if not the most profitable part of Time Warner, is that it's cyclical in terms of when people would subscribe and then drop the service. And that was one of the reasons why they launched HBO Go and HBO Now, is they basically said, you can have all of our catalog content on demand as well. But people used to, like in the Sopranos heyday and Sex and the City heyday, they'd subscribe during those months when the shows were on and then unsubscribe. And you start to see, people, you have to have this, especially with streaming, when you release all the content at once, you have to have a constant influx of content. Yeah. Otherwise, people will binge it and then cancel. Yeah. And so you don't want to have, and people do that. There are cyclical things, and people do, cancel and resubscribe. But Netflix wants to be able to kind of convince people you should continue to pay your $12 or $15 a month if you're using the 4K plan, for their service.
A second. How much is $50 million for an hour? That's $1 million.
It's just
almost like $1 million a minute. It's
900,000.
Yeah, it's slightly less than $1 million a minute.
Yeah,
Should
like
I ask Google?
All right. 900,000, I think.
Yeah, so I just said 900,000. That's good money.
Hey Google, how much is $50 million per second? That's probably not a well-formed question.
How many seconds, Leo? What are you talking
50 million
about?
divided by 60 is what you want.
Put the phone down. What are you doing? Just stop it. We're good. Next story.
No, I know what you want.
It's 50 million divided by 60.
I don't want to be sick.
How much is $50 million divided by 360?
I was going to say per minute, it's 833,000.
And then divide that again by 60 to get seconds. God, that's a lot of money. That's like
Floyd Mayweather makes $300 million for 12 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, but he's getting the crap beaten out of him.
He doesn't get touched.
Okay.
That's true.
Somebody's getting the crap beaten out of him.